Welcome back to the Takeout. The U.S., Canada, and Mexico are working towards renewing their continent-wide trade agreement with a July 1st deadline looming. The leader of Ontario, Canada, Premier Doug Ford, is in Washington today pushing for the pact. He's a friend of the show. You may remember he outraged President Trump last year with his anti-tariff advertisements and for how he temporarily placed a tax on electricity being sent into the U.S. But now he's striking a more conciliatory tone. We caught up with him on Capitol Hill this afternoon. Here's part of our conversation. Premier Doug Ford, good to see you again.
Great to see you, Ed. Thanks
Welcome
for
to
having
Washington.
Me. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
You have come to town for a series of meetings with industry leaders
Yes.
and
lawmakers.
Lawmakers.
Yes.
What's the pitch?
Well, the pitch is building Fortress North America. Just putting a ring around North America, making sure when we protect North America for countries like China, then our economies grow, jobs grow, investment grows, production grows, cost of goods go down. So that's what we're promoting. We're promoting that we can supply the U.S. as much energy from Ontario that they need, critical minerals. We have more critical minerals than anyone in the world. And our economies are so integrated together.
The idea being that if Canada and the United States and Mexico
That's right.
pooled their manufacturing resources to compete against China,
Yes.
or to anticipate protectionism by China, then perhaps the three economies would prosper?
Oh yeah, would it ever? If we're able to get this deal signed, the economies will grow, the likes of which both countries have never seen before. And it just gives everyone certainty. Because there's so much uncertainty, people want certainty, they want stability, because there's investments on hold right now in the U.S. and in Canada until we get this deal done.
And there is hope of it being achieved by July 1st, but some concern that it may require a little more time. What's your sense of how quickly this is moving, and whether there will be a new agreement?
Yeah, and I'd love to see it July the 1st. Is it possible? It's possible. Is it likely? Maybe. But it might extend a little further than July the 1st.
You did have meetings with lawmakers, Democrats and Republicans?
Both.
And what's
Democrats,
the reception like?
They want to get this thing done because each one of their districts represent a lot of manufacturing. We're the number one customer in the world to the U.S., and the U.S. is our number one customer. So we need to get this deal done, put certainty, and then investments will come.
I've noted in reading the Canadian press that they point out this is a slightly more diplomatic overture by you after the moves last year to remove American goods from provincial stores, the advertising that was run that needled President Trump. Why the change in tactic, and does it have anything to do with the fact that Canada appears now to have gone 2 quarters with negative growth, therefore technically in a recession?
Well, I guess that'd be the exception to Ontario. We've seen tremendous growth. Back-to-back months, we've seen 42,400 jobs. April, another 42,000 in May as well. And so we're seeing tremendous growth right now in Ontario. But we need to work together. And there's going to be a time, and the time is right now, that the U.S. Needs our energy. We keep the lights on and businesses open with the lights on. 1.5 million homes and businesses in New York State and Michigan and Minnesota, and I want to ship more energy down to the U.S. As China wants to take a strong hold on all critical minerals around the world that they have right now, to the exception of one place, and that's Ontario. I put legislation in that would ban any Chinese companies to buy any of our critical minerals. Who do I want to send our critical minerals to? Our closest friends and allies, the U.S.
You yourself, as a provincial leader, are not scheduled to meet with Trump administration officials. That's being handled by federal officials. If you, though, given the war of words you've had with the president, or the sort of rhetorical battles of the last year plus, you had a chance to talk to him now, given the state of the world, given the state of the economies as they are, and given the anticipation for this trade deal, what would you say to him at this point?
I would say you signed a great deal last time. Let's move forward. If we have to tweak it, let's tweak it, because livelihoods of people in offices and backs of factories rely on the two-way trade with Canada. And when China, again, is controlling all the critical minerals, your closest friend and ally has all those minerals and more. We have the energy to build your data centers and your manufacturing facilities were critical. And we're so integrated, our economies. No matter if it's the auto sector, the parts go back and forth across the border 8 times before it gets assembled in Ontario or in the U.S. somewhere. And we've been the closest friends for 250 years. We feel like we're part of the family. And we need to get this done for the sake of both economies.
You're raising concern about China comes, however, as your prime minister was attempting to open up the Chinese market to more Canadian business and investment. How are we to see that contrast?
I couldn't agree more. We should have never let those vehicles in. Over 49,000 EV vehicles. They're a direct attack on our auto sector here and in the U.S. I just totally disagree with that. The Prime Minister and I see eye to eye on the majority of things. That one we don't see eye to eye on at all.
The idea of bringing Chinese electric vehicles into Canada.
That's correct. 49,000 of them.
Now, I think many Americans may remember you are the guy that last year when this trade war between the United States and Canada began, you started pulling American-made liquor and wine from the shelves of provincial liquor stores in Ontario. Is there any plan to start buying American again?
I would love to put those bottles of liquor and wine, bourbon back on the shelves, but we have to get a deal. These tariffs are really hurting our steel industry, our aluminum industry, our auto sector, dairy sector, lumber. So we just need certainty. Once we have certainty, we're wide open. I encourage everyone to ship up their alcohol to Ontario. Once that deal's done, we're the largest purchaser of alcohol in the world. It's called the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, and we welcome them.
You can catch my full conversation with Ontario Premier Doug Ford on your favorite podcast platform. We thank him for taking the time.